Ready to start your own business? Have a small business already? Or maybe you have a great idea for a business but just don't know where to begin. Get a practical, nuts and bolts business education in just 15 minutes. Check out the $100 MBA Show, a Best of Apple podcast winner with over 2 million downloads per month. It's where business school dropout and successful independent entrepreneur Omar Zenhom shares real world lessons on starting, growing, and scaling your own business. Like episode number 2449, Why Right Now is the Best Time to Start a Business. In this episode, Omar talks about the perks of getting started ASAP, why waiting could cost you, and why 2024 is the golden opportunity to get going. Omar uncovers all the economic advantages, resources, and more that make this moment prime for starting up. Whether you're just thinking about taking that first step or you're already on your way, this episode's going to give you the boost you need. Subscribe to the $100 MBA Show on your favorite podcast app right now. That's $100 MBA Show on your podcast app or 100mba.net. Welcome to the Frugalpreneur podcast. I am your host, Sarah St. John. This episode is what I refer to as a showcase episode where I feature a bootstrapped entrepreneur and they briefly share their tips, tricks, tactics, techniques, and tools that help them bootstrap their business and the successes and failures along the way. My hope is that each of these showcase episodes will provide at least one valuable takeaway that you could implement right away in your own bootstrap business journey. Now on to the episode.
I've always known I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was a young man. At that time, I was teaching martial arts and felt at that time that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Turns out I had a lot of other interests, and as time passed, I would see opportunities and could help myself. I'd look at those opportunities and I would say, how can we solve that problem? How can we monetize the needs that we're seeing? So I've been a pioneer in the martial arts industry, the job site industry, the career fair industry, and now I'm involved in a SaaS project, which is software as a service. And it came about that I was managing a networking group, and I wanted to have a program that could really merge in-person networking and social media networking. So we set out to devise a communication app and management app for a networking group. This has morphed into much more than that, where really we're in a position where we should be able to handle any size group and community. I've been on a shoestring budget on almost every business that I've ventured into. One thing that I've learned through the years is probably the most economical thing that I can do for marketing is to get involved in networking. Allows you to almost have a built-in sales force, because not only the people that you meet at the networking groups, but their friends also become advocates for you too. So it's really important to make those deep relationships where you get people that know, love, and trust you, because they're the ones that are going to go out of their way to refer you to their friends. And what you're going to have to do to make that happen, though, is you're going to have the attitude that do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. You have to break forth and do the same thing for them and make sure that it's not a one-way street, that you're not networking just to get, but you're networking to give. Probably the biggest success that I ever got from bootstrapping my business was when I decided to step out and create my own business networking group. What happened is I was able to get approximately 40% of my sales that year, either from people that were in the group or that I had already known, or referrals that came from the group. And I could never guarantee that kind of success for other people, but some people may even do better than that. But not only did I make money from the sales that I got from doing it, I also got money from managing the networking group. On the contrary, probably the biggest failure that I had from trying to bootstrap, pinch pennies, is I thought that I'm going to do more business than the other people and I'm going to charge less. What happened is I was staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing work. One time I met a business counselor while I was dropping off my kids at daycare. And I said to him, I notice you're always so relaxed when you come in here. And I'm always rushed. I'm running in here, dropping off my kids, hardly having time to kiss them goodbye. And life just isn't in balance. And he said, what really is your problem? And I said that I am working way too many hours because I have so much business. He said, that's simple. Just raise your prices until you have the same amount of money coming in, but you're working less hours. Or if you're at the point you need to hire someone with such common sense. I've already mentioned probably my biggest tactic for bootstrapping, and that is networking. Call me cheap, but I don't like paying for leads. And I think that I can get leads through networking groups that are much warmer. They're going to be people that know, love, and trust me. And long term, I'm going to probably be able to retain them as customers longer. And all around, it's a win. All for doing things like getting labor in places like the Philippines where they speak great English. They're very grateful for the work they have. You're doing them a favor because it's a very poor country, and just making the best use of your time and not doing tasks that really you could have somebody at a much lower pay scale doing it. I know when you're first in business, a lot of times you have to do everything, but what you want to do is cut out the things that you definitely could have somebody else do and do not have to be done by yourself. You can probably tell that I'm very passionate about networking. Joining a networking group is one of the best things you can do, but even better is to create your own networking group. As the owner or facilitator of a networking group, you have a lot of advantages. Number one, you get to choose the founders, you get to choose the nucleus of your group, and you want them to be complementary businesses that can help your business grow. But you also get to choose the location, the culture of the group, the rules that go along the group. Is it going to be a lighthearted group, or is it going to be more of a strict group? What I'd like you to do is go to startanetwork.com. Scroll down toward the bottom of the page, and I have a free ebook for you. It's 38-page ebook. There's no cost to it, and it will tell you just exactly how to start your networking group and the things that you need to consider prior to doing that, because there's literally hundreds of ways that you can customize a networking group today.
I hope you enjoyed that episode and were able to take away a valuable nugget of information that you can implement right away in your own business. If you feel your story would be valuable for the listeners of this show, please visit frugal.show/guest. Are you a frugalpreneur looking to connect with like-minded individuals? Join our community on Slack, connect with fellow listeners, share your thoughts on episodes, engage in meaningful discussions, including money-saving tips and entrepreneurial insights, and help shape the future of the Frugalpreneur podcast. Plus, you can submit your questions in written or audio form to be featured on the show. Let's build a supportive space together. Join us now at frugal.show/Slack. See you on the inside.